Now it's time for that Panthers recap. Boy. One thing about Minnesota, they know how to make things tough. They know how to make, if you watching the Vikings and you cheering for the Vikings, they got a way of making you sweat it out. I don't know if you're going to get, ladies, if you got your hair done, don't get it done on Sunday or Saturday because you might sweat it out. Guys, if you got some good hair going, you might go bald sometimes watching the Vikings, but I can tell you this much. They're going to make it interesting and entertaining, and they're going to have you going up and down, emotional roller coasters. The Vikings beat the Panthers 34-28 in overtime, thanks to a walk-off touchdown by your guy, KJ Osborne. Check this out. The Vikings had 571 yards of offense on Sunday, third most in franchise history. They outgained the Panthers by 265 yards. Pat P, the defense was balling. Yeah. 5 of the 6 Viking games have been one-possession ball games. Dalvin Cook returned from injury, rushed for 140 yards. He will be on the episode that we will drop this Thursday. So Viking fans, Florida State fans, South Florida football fans, Dalvin Cook will be on this episode that we're dropping Thursday. So make sure you tune in. Now, for you, Pat P, were you able to see some of the action, especially in overtime, with you being out with that injury? You said you went into the locker room trying to get an IV, but were you able to see what was going on in overtime?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. They had the TV on in the locker room, but the drive that I missed, I wasn't able to see. I was just able to hear it the whole time, as far as like the reaction of the stadium. So
yeah.
I'm in the locker room getting the IV. It's quiet in there. The game is on in the locker room, but I'm in the training room. And you just hear the crowd going crazy. And I'm like, God damn, like, what's going on? Then Roach, one of our trainers came in. They's like, they just scored. Now they're going for 2, this, that, and the other. So now we're going into overtime. So I'm like, oh, I got to get up. I'm like, this at the time I'm thinking about is still cramps.
Oh, you were trying to get it back in the fire.
I'm like, I got to get up. My squad DB. So I started walking. I got off the table. I started walking. So now, when you think it's cramp, you want to start stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tried to touch my toes, Mac. I said, oh, no. I said,
that's what you thought.
I said, I can't go.
You can't go. You can't cover nobody out there feeling like that.
I'm being a sitting duck out there, man. Yeah. Better for me to be staying right here where I'm at in this locker room. But now I'm watching it. So, because like I said, now I'm trying to convince myself I can get back in the game. So now I'm making my way to the locker room door, but the TV's on right there. So I'm looking at it. We win the coin toss. We get the what's name. So now I'm kind of at ease because, like you said,
offense on the field.
Yeah, the offense on the field. They've been rolling. Minus like we talked about closing out the game early on in the show, or whatever. But I was pretty confident. So I see them with the ball, moving the ball down. I had a couple nice carries. We hit the tight end on the first play. Tyler wide open. Any big play, first play in overtime.
It's huge.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, we really good now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then Captain Kirk continued to do his thing, hit KJ on I think it was an out route.
Mm-hmm.
He scored. And man, I was just so excited. And I saw the ball come out. I was like, oh, what happened? Yeah. I said, please say this. So then they ended up doing that. Saying it was good.
Yeah.
And going through the tunnel and waiting all the guys to come in and congratulating them on a good win. But you ain't lying. I was definitely I was nervous too. I was like, man, this can't be happening again, man. There's no way we should be in this predicament. Almost about to lose this game.
No question. I mean, your offense had their way against a real good Panthers defense. Your defense had their way. Yeah, their Panthers defense was balling. I mean, Sam Darnold was struggling, getting sacked, and that has been the storyline the majority of the games for Minnesota. Why has it been a struggle to close out games and to win them?
Just finding ways to get the ball in the right guy's hand, calling the right play in certain situations. Like I said, I think, now I'm pretty much having all the guys together, having that continuity, still being early on in the year, trying to see what we can and can't get away with. You know, I know that may sound kind of weird and odd, but you know, I that's just my assumption. You know, trying to figure out what we can and can't get away with early on in the year. You know, seeing what having, you know, putting some things on tape, maybe seeing what bit us in the butt, knowing that we can't do that in this situation. And you know, that's honestly that's what, you know, football is all about. You know, you want to learn from certain situations. So if you're in that situation, you want to be able to, you know, come out on top. So
yeah.
You know, I think now being in those situations, having opportunity to 2 weeks in a row to close out games, not really, you know, closing them out the way we wanted to. Having this bye week comes at a perfect time, and that give our coaching staff a great opportunity to, you know, have that 6 week observation of the team, of play calling, of players, you know, et cetera, you know, from top to bottom. So this is an important week as an organization moving forward and seeing how we can grow from the first 6 weeks of the season.
And defensively, man, you guys had 4 sacks. The first play of the game was a really good moment for Brashad Breeland intercepting Sam Darnold. That was huge. Sam only had 207 yards throwing, running the football, didn't do a lot. And you, my friend, was in your bag before the injury. You know, matched up a lot against their outstanding wide receiver and DJ Moore. And all in all, man, you won that battle for 4 quarters. He caught, you know, a few passes here or there, a man beater, as we like to call it in football terminology, defensive back terminology.
Hey, Coach came to the side and said, "Man, I'm sorry, Pete, because we normally don't run like that type of coverage, you know, in the distance." He was like, "Man, I'm sorry, Pete. We went to the well one too many times."
Hey,
all right. God damn it, don't do it again.
No question, especially in that situation when you know the offense is going to run a man beater. And listeners and viewers, when we say man beater, offensively, they do a great job in strategizing, studying their opponent, not just the individual players, but the play callers. And the same can be said for defensive play callers, studying offensive play callers. In certain situations of a ball game, third down situations, offensively, they're going to call, if they know you like to run a man coverage, in a 3rd and 5 set, 3rd and 6, between 3rd and 5 and 38, you know what? Defensively, they love to rely on man-to-man. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to call an offensive play that's going to beat a man coverage. That's what we call man beaters. So you will see a lot of rub routes. You will see a lot of stack routes from wide receivers, and they're trying to confuse the defenders. And rub routes are the best way to beat man coverage. Running underneath routes where guys got to fight through the traffic. You know what I mean? You got to allow someone to run in front of you first, and then now you're chasing. Those are what we call man beaters. So in certain situations, guys, when you watching football, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever the case may be, situationally speaking, they will call things based on what they think they will get from the defense. And that's why we say man beater. That's a man beater. You know what I mean? It happens. But all in all, number 7 was in his bag. Number 7 had a heck of a game once again, been quietly doing a great job. And what I mean when I say quietly, you're not getting the targets to be able to come down with the huge interceptions and stuff like that, but you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that's all that matters.